Hi YouTube family, we thought we'd do something special today. We thought we'd introduce you to a brand new newbie couple. This is their first trip out. They're headed to their first work camper job. They're just kind of feeling out their new rig that they've got and getting everybody adjusted. And we thought we'd like do an experiment with them. We thought we'd follow them along a little bit. They're going to be doing a job or two with us later on in the year. They're going to be going to a separate job now. But this would be a good opportunity for us to introduce you to them. Their channel is called RV S.W.A.T. And you're looking at John and Tracy here.
Hi.
And their doggies are all over the place here.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'd like to get started by asking a couple of easy questions. Of course, you know Dar.
Hey.
And well, I guess my first question would be is, how long have you been thinking about getting started going down this road? And when did you get started by buying your motorhome and getting things rolling, and why?
So, thinking about it, I would say less than a year probably. The original plan was retirement. When we hit retirement, hit the road, see the country. And then about almost a year ago, I started thinking about why waiting until retirement.
But he didn't mention it to me.
No.
Almost a year.
It was a secret until I came home from work one day and said, what do you think about moving into an RV and traveling the country? And she's like, sounds great. I was like, good, because I bought an RV.
Kind of scare you at first?
That was October.
Really, October?
Yeah, it was
That was pretty cool. Were you scared when you said that?
Yeah.
Or,
It was terrifying, actually.
yeah? But you're all in.
I'm all in.
You know, there's some personal reasons behind, why I was doing it. With seeing my father die at a young age and not enjoying retirement. And I just didn't want to take any risk like that. So I wanted a simpler life. I was tired of working corporate America, 9-to-5 jobs, and I just wanted to do something different. So this was what we thought was the best thing to do.
Did you go camping as kids? Were you campers?
I was camper as a kid, and then we actually camped a good bit with some friends of ours in Florida. Actually got us into camping, and he had a travel trailer.
My camping growing up was in a tent.
Yeah.
And then we ended up buying a pop-up camper when it was in Florida. Took a couple trips with some friends of ours in Florida in a pop-up camper, and that's how it all kind of started.
Did you go camping with your kids when they were little?
No, our kids didn't like camping. They were...
In his family,
No
camping,
internet.
Yeah, in his family, camping was, they had a house,
second house
on the river.
Okay.
And it was called the camp.
Right.
So when they were camping, they were actually in a house with bedrooms and bathrooms and kitchens and a pier and an outdoor kitchen.
And your kids are all grown up now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And they're also scattered.
Yeah, we have 2 in Oregon.
They're actually now all 3 on the same coast,
Right.
so as each other, not as us. But yeah, 2 in Oregon, 1 in Washington State.
So this would make it nice too, because we have the same type of situation where kids are spread out. So now you can go and visit them in mooch dock. That's what that's called.
Yeah.
Throw us an extension cord in the water hose.
There you go. Didn't think about that.
Yeah. So now obviously you guys have a job. How did you? Oh, doggy's gonna hit the tripod.
Oh yeah.
How did you find your job
We didn't.
for South Dakota?
Actually, we went on workcamper.com
Okay, so you got work camper. You
and
went
we then signed up for the extra help with the awesome applicants resume. Once we did that, we posted all of that on the Work Campers website. Then he was looking through, or one of us was looking through and found this job.
It was on the hotline.
Kitchen. It was on the hotline.
Yeah, it was on the hotline on Work Camper News.
So I called him while Johnny was at work one day and found out that it was running front of the house and back of the house at a restaurant at an RV resort, a members only resort. And so when he heard that we had Disney experience, that he actually cooked for Disney in their 5-star restaurants.
What's your specialty,
okay.
mouse?
Yeah, pretty much.
Italian mouse was actually his specialty.
Italian mouse.
Italian
Sounds
mouse.
delicious.
So that's when he said, I really would like to speak to both of you together. And he talked to us together on a phone interview. Didn't even Skype interview. It was just a phone interview.
Just phone interview.
and offered us the position.
Awesome.
The first job we ever called about.
So now, when did you leave? When did you take off on the road physically?
Physically on the road. So we moved into the RV in December, and then we
Mooch docking.
Yeah. Didn't know there was a name for it, but yeah, was in a friend's driveway from the last week of December, and then we hit the road April 2nd is when we pulled out of his driveway.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you're not even a month into this
No,
yet.
no.
As far as travel.
As far as traveling, right?
Then how do you like the traveling part?
I like it, but I've kind of figured out that so far I'm good for about 3 days of dry camping. Then I'm ready for hookups.
Right.
So I'm hoping I can extend that a little bit. Once we still have a lot to learn. You know, we have to learn how to conserve water a little better. We're not too good at that yet. So dry camping about 3 days. Then we need hookups.
See, you have to realize yesterday Johnny and I got together, and he was telling me he would like his motorhome to go faster than 15 miles per hour.
Uphill.
So we found a couple things that were wrong, and Johnny did the work on it, and we took it for a road test last night. You would think we were on the Indy 500. We had it, we had pretty strong. It turned this thing.
Indy 500 and the Crash Up Derby.
Yeah.
We won't go there.
Yeah. So anyway, we had fun, and it's running better.
It is running better. Yeah.
And I think that makes it always makes a big difference when your equipment's
I may enjoy it whenever we pull out from here and head to our next stop. I may enjoy the actual travel days, because right now I got to the point to where I like the destination days, but I'm not liking the travel days, and I think it's just because it was running so bad. So now maybe the travel days will be a little more enjoyable too.
And it'll help not to have saran wrap over your air filter.
That
Oh my gosh.
that would help.
Just kidding.
Well, the air filter was crushed.
It
The
was.
spark plugs were gapped at over 100 thousandths, and they were all wore out. So
And keeping in mind, when we purchased this, they supposedly
Went through
checked
everything.
everything.
yeah. Well, we opened your intake track up a little more, so you got
Yeah.
a little better free flow of air. Yeah. So I know after coming home from Washington last year, and all I did was watch the gauges. I didn't see anything on the road. I was just highway and the gauges.
No sightseeing done.
No.
No.
So
Not-
you
not
guys,
that true.
Yeah.
you guys are headed to South Dakota then,
Yeah.
and to work.
Yep.
And you're also trying to sell a.
A tow dolly. I'm trying to. So here's the funny story behind the tow dolly. So when we first decided to hit the road, we had a Chevy Cruze, and it was front wheel drive. So in my research, I was told, okay, you have to have a tow dolly to tow that. You can't tow it on all four. So I bought the tow dolly, and got the tow dolly home. Got it all ready, and 2 weeks before we hit the road,
Yeah.
we were driving down the road to go to it's called a bargain hunt or whatever it was, store, discount store. So we were on our way there, and we caught a Jeep out the corner of our eye for sale. Then I told her, I was like, I'm thinking about turning around and looking at that Jeep. She's like, well, turn it around.
I've been wanting
yeah.
a Jeep for a long time.
So we turned around,
Again.
we bought the Jeep, traded, sold the Cruze, bought the Jeep, got the Jeep home. I'm like, I can tow this on all four. So now I got a tow dolly that I'm towing a Jeep on instead of towing on all four. So.
And that tow dolly has brakes on it.
Yep,
It's
It's
a
a nice tow
hydraulic.
dolly.
Yep,
Nice
hydraulic
It's
brakes.
got nice ramps, everything. So,
Anybody wants a tow dolly out there, contact
Call
RV
me.
S.W.A.T or Economic Refugees.
yeah, we'll actually put a
Hook
link
you up.
to your
Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
So now you're towing a Jeep on a tow dolly,
Tow dolly. Yeah.
which kind of makes it kind of an awkward thing
Right.
because it's usually designed for front wheel drive. But
It's a little silly, but
hopefully that by the time you get to South Dakota, you got it sold or something.
That's what I'm
That'll make it
hoping.
better.
Yeah.
So your job, you're going to be cooking and you're going to be running the restaurant
Front
part of the
house.
front house.
I'll be
of the
doing
job?
front of the house for that restaurant, but they also have an ice cream shop there that I'll be going back
Snack
and forth.
stand.
Keep him out of it.
Now, do you want to say where you're
Yeah.
I
going?
want to trade. I want to go do the ice cream shop.
We're going to Heart Ranch.
Heart Ranch in
It's
Rapid
in Rapid
City.
City,
Yep,
just
little
outside
south.
of Rapid City. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually it's a working cattle ranch where they've taken 195-ish acres and they've made it into a members only RV resort.
Awesome.
So yeah.
And
It's like a
of
dude
course, South
ranch.
Dakota.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Yeah.
been to South Dakota?
Never.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's real pretty.
That's what we're hoping.
Beautiful. You got to run. You're close to Sturgis. You're close to Mount
Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore.
What's funny is when you go see Mount Rushmore, it looks real small.
Does
When you
it?
see it on TV, it looks huge. When you go in person, it looks real small.
We'll actually be, I think he said 15 minutes from Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, and then Deadwood, and
Yeah.
all the goodies are right in
Crazy
there.
Horse.
Custom.
We had a motorcycle shop for all that time, and we never went to Sturgis. We always went the other way because we didn't want to have to work on motorcycles all the way to Sturgis and back. So we always went on other rides. And then when we got the motorhome, we've gone to Sturgis a couple times. It stayed where they charge you $1,500 a week, and it says Sturgis on the side of the hill. We got it for
We're
$105
right,
a
like
week.
on top of it.
Wow.
Wow.
So-
It's a lot less expensive then.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and then after that, your plans are to meet up with us, right?
Yes. Yep.
And we're gonna do sugar beets together. Probably be the best job you ever did.
Probably the best boss.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
And then they're talking about coming down to San Diego and helping us out on our Christmas tree line. So we're going to be seeing them a lot, so we thought we better meet them before we decided exactly for sure whether to
It's kind
give
of like
them
a
the
lengthy
address.
interview for the Christmas tree
Yeah.
job.
That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Let's make
Stamp
sure. Let's make
approval.
sure we want to bring these guys with us all the way to beats and trees.
They might not even like us.
So tell us what you have for a motorhome.
Hold on. This is a 33-foot Itasca Sunrise.
2000.
Is it 2000? Yeah, 2000. So I think Itasca's made by Winnebago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it's gas. So far, that's the only thing that I don't like. Everything else I love about it, but I kind of wish I'd bought a diesel. You know, but
Next time.
live and learn. Live and learn. I had never driven one before we bought this, so the first time I ever driven it was the day we bought it. So I didn't know what I was getting into. You know, and again, like I said, we started talking about this in October,
Right.
a little bit before.
And you were just
October.
driving down the road in a travel trailer, and you just happened to see a motorhome, and you
Yeah,
said, "Oh,
swung
yeah.
around and
Okay.
swung around and said, let's trade it in. No, I was driving.
He was driving his work van when he saw it.
Yeah, I was actually working, driving
You
by.
traded your work van in?
I wish, oh yes,
Did your
I
company
guess.
find out about that one yet?
I guess you could say I traded it in. Traded in the
He
work
gave it
van
back
for
to
an
him.
RV. But yeah, I was driving down the road. I saw an RV dealership out the corner of my eye. That's how I kind of do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm very.
He's very spontaneous.
Impromptu.
Oh yeah.
So, you've sold your house, or do you still have a house?
Oh, everything's sold.
Everything's gone. How long did that take?
2
No,
weeks.
well, actually, yeah, it was just our stuff because actually we
were
rent.
renting.
Yeah, we were
Okay.
renting the house, so
Because you had
basically.
recently moved, right?
Yeah, the company I was working for actually transferred me from Florida to Alabama, Northeast
Yeah.
Alabama, and I was there. I was managing an office there for them for about a year and a half, and that's whenever I decided that it was time for a change. So the lease was up, didn't sign a new lease, and had a big yard sale, sold everything that wouldn't fit in the RV, and here we are.
You don't have a storage at all then?
Not at all.
My mom's house. I have
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
in her
Oh yeah,
basement.
yeah. There's a few things at your
Yeah,
mom's.
sounds
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what's nice is if you can find a family member that will let you just stuff all their bedrooms full of stuff.
That's kind of what her mom lives to. She had a spare bedroom, and that's where our cedar chest with all our family photos and stuff like that.
Family
went.
heirlooms and
You
stuff.
have
that my mom agreed. You don't need to get rid of. She said, bring it all here.
Yeah.
For people that are not full-time RVers and do not live in RVs, one of the scariest things about being an RVer is when somebody gives you a coffee cup. Because
True.
now you got to try to find another spot for a coffee cup, and it just keeps getting tighter and tighter, and you can hear the things
Yeah.
cracking in the back.
It's funny you said that because when we were on our way here, we stopped in Louisiana and he bought me a new coffee cup.
Yeah.
I'm regretting it.
Because my
So
old
you
one
buy
just
one
like
cup
it
and you get
messed
rid of
up.
one cup.
I'm
Yeah.
still trying to teach her how to do that.
This is
How to get rid of
replacing a
coffee
cup
cups.
that got messed up. So.
Yeah, we were working a job last year, and they gave us 2 cups, and I'm like gonna go around the tables because people were leaving them, and she goes, "What are you doing? Where are we gonna put those things?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." So that's why everyone
They
left
were
their
cool
cups.
though, because they were mason jars
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they were nice,
with
but
handles.
yeah. I
That
like
was
those.
actually a hard lesson learned for me, and I'm still dealing with it a lot. Is even outside in the understory.
In the
Yeah,
basement.
cargo bays.
Oh, trying to find. I'm out of space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
and then
talked.
you
We
guys
talked the
also,
other day.
you can watch their video because they did take their rig in and have it weighed and got the certificate from the cat scales. So that was an informative video, I
Okay.
thought.
when
Yeah,
we go
it
to
was
Sugar
it was
Beets,
a
we
wake
run
up
them
video
across
for
the
me.
scales
Yeah.
there.
You do
What's
what?
that?
At Sugar Beets, we could run them across
Right.
the scale. At Sugar
Okay.
Beets.
They don't print paperwork out, but at least you know
At
if
least
you're
you
over.
know,
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that video when we went through the cat scale, that was kind of a awakening for me because we still have a lot of stuff that we wanted to get, and when we run across the cat scale to find out we're already overweight,
Yeah.
we talked the other night, said, okay, it's time to do a second
the dollar-
Well,
downsizing.
you're only a
because-
little bit
Yeah,
overweight.
Yeah, just a
the
little.
dolly's going to take care of a lot of that weight.
That's true.
We had we're newbies. We had full water tank.
Well, Bill said we need to have full water tank,
But not on the
but
scale.
not on the scale.
Well, the thing about it is if you get out and you're traveling, and especially this time of year, a lot of the water is still shut off.
Yeah,
That's true.
So-
we found that out at
That is true.
Flying
And in
J
the fall,
other
it's
day.
the same way. You'll find out that, oh yeah, we had water up until yesterday.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and then you're out of water, and I mean, it makes for no dishes, no
Right.
showers, no eating.
No
you know,
flushing.
No
Yeah.
No
flushing.
flushing. Yeah, that's not going to work for me.
That's not good.
So yeah, you want to be completely self-contained when you're
Right.
moving. So, and like I say, Flying J's are your best friend on the road because they have everything usually.
Okay.
And if you have not, we covered this about the
Cool.
Trucker's Guide.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Those
saw
things
that.
are amazing. They
Okay.
really are. We refer to that a lot, almost as much as the GPS.
And
Okay.
and then what's the other one? Parky.
RV Parky,
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I
an
forgot
app
about
on your
that one.
phone.
We do a lot
That's
with
good.
All Stays. We have
That's good
we have
too.
the Pro or Premium, whatever it's called, the online All Stays
Right.
membership, and we find pretty much everything we need so far.
Yeah.
I'll just filter down to Flying J's and go to just Flying
Mhm,
J's if we can.
The Flying J's we really like because they have specific sections for RVs, so you're away from the big trucks, and they're long spaces because they
Yeah.
know you're towing too, usually.
Okay.
Well, if
those
you're
are nice.
diesel, yeah. For us,
Yeah.
we got to go with the cars, and that's very fun.
Well, no,
Well,
she's talking
no,
about parking.
we,
Oh,
Uh,
for parking.
They have
Parking
actual
overnight
RV
hours.
parking,
Oh, they
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
and then they have usually
a
have a
fill station,
Denny's
too.
restaurant right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, because we had a couple Loves, and Loves you were parked with the
Right.
trucks.
And if they've got their reefer running all night,
Yeah.
guess what?
Loves, TA. I mean, they're great for trucker. And the worst part about it is the truckers hate the RVers.
Yeah, you get some funny looks, or we did.
Well, because in the RVers will go and park sideways and do all this stuff. So the thing about Flying J, they have their own. You have your own fuel aisles, propane, dump station, water fill, and parking, and they really cater to the RVers. So it makes for a good spot. By the way, this dog is what? He's deaf,
He's blind.
blind, not deaf. He can
No,
hear.
he can hear. He ignores you, but he can hear.
Yeah.
But he did go blind in January, so he's a little clingy, and I'd put him down, but with him being blind, he'd probably be running into the tripod the whole time. So.
Yeah. Well, he walks down.
He's
I know
still
that.
trying to get used to being blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
We're
thinks
not
someone
sure
just
he
turned the
can
lights
outside.
off, huh?
Yeah.
But let's distinguish, he's not in pain.
He's
No,
not in
no.
pain now.
For all our animal lovers out there,
Yes.
we know you're concerned.
And
We
we did
are
not shave
extreme.
the other one. He was born like that.
We are extreme animal lovers, and in fact, our kids. So we've had him for 11 years, and our kids would tell us when they were a little younger, saying, "You treat the dogs better than you treat us." I'm like, "Well, the dogs listen better than you
That's
do."
what he always says. When I die, I want to come back as a dog.
A pampered
Well,
dog.
good dog's hard to
Dog.
find, you know.
Oh, yeah.
What did you do to kind of get an idea on how to get started on this?
It's kind of how we started. I went on YouTube and I was searching, full-time RVing, full-time life on the road. I'm sure as everyone does. And we found a few channels that we started following faithfully. Some of them we've kind of switched because we followed some at the beginning that kind of they're full-time, but I'm trying to find a nice way. They have a lot more money than what we have.
Yeah.
So I could tell that was a different lifestyle.
They weren't
So-
work campers. They,
Right. So we,
Yeah.
we wanted to find people actually
Yeah.
doing the work camping. So, we followed Brian, which is how we discovered you guys, and that was a blessing whenever we
Yeah.
discovered you guys. But we followed Brian a lot. We followed Wanderlust Estates. And basically that's the main
Nomadic,
two,
yeah.
and Nomadic Fanatic we follow. But that was kind of the main ones. Again,
Hannah.
Palhana,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If Brian's the
I think I found
best,
Palhana before
Yes.
you guys.
Yeah,
we love Brian.
we all love
We
we've
all
Brian.
seen
Brian.
we
We
watched
do.
every episode of Brian's videos.
I've
We've
binge
honestly
watched
seen.
Brian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Binge
Yeah, we
I
don't
do,
binge
I'm
watch
serious.
Netflix. We binge watch Brian's channel to catch up.
Reruns.
Yeah,
And look,
we
you
do
can
that
come-
too.
You can walk through my door any evening, and you hear his music playing. You go, oh, she's watching him again.
You know how I know she's his adopted mother is he went into that cave and she was just over there going, oh my gosh, oh, and she was all panicked.
I almost couldn't watch
Yeah,
the
I
whole
couldn't.
video.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Brian,
I
you
was
scared
like,
your road,
"Freeze."
mama.
And your road sister.
That was good though.
So what did you wish you knew before you started? Do we have enough memory on that
How
card?
big is the SD card on that camera?
It's only 400 gigabytes.
What time is it? Oh.
I wish I knew gas mileage before I started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize the expense of fuel. I think whenever we first stopped, I was optimistic when we left in this thing because we got an app and we're like, okay, we're going to calculate the mileage. So let's fill up this time, and we get on the road and we're going down, and my odometer, I'm like, whew, we've gone like 400 miles on this tank. We're doing excellent. And then we punched the numbers in the thing and it said 7.3 miles to the gallon. I was like,
And that's about normal for a gasoline powered.
It is
Yeah.
kind of shocking if you don't know.
yes. Yeah,
Hopefully
I
you'll
didn't
do
know.
better though now that you've helped him.
It should do a lot.
Figure out
It
what
should
the
probably,
problem
you should
is.
get a little bit more. You should get
Maybe we'll
maybe
get
8 to 9 now. I mean,
Nice.
when air gets to the motor, that helps a little
You know,
bit.
when you're talking hundreds of gallons
Yeah,
from 7 point what 6
7.3.
7.3
up to 8
8.
doesn't sound like a lot, but the money
doesn't.
does add up
Yeah.
real quickly.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
these-
I never thought I'd be excited over a mile a gallon, but oh, I will be.
People ask me, I tell them it costs about $125 a day to drive
Yeah.
my rig. If we do about 300 or 400 miles. So
Yeah, that's about us. We kind of limit ourselves so far. Like I said, we just hit the road, but so far we're kind of limiting ourselves to 200, 250 miles
Yeah.
a day, and then we stop at a Harvest Host or
Right.
a Walmart or something.
Talk to us too about Harvest Host.
So Harvest Host, we joined a couple months before we left. Actually, we joined a little early just because
So we could research.
yeah, before you join, you can't see all of it, and then after
Right.
you join, the whole map opens up. But Harvest Host is farms, wineries, breweries, museums. They're all part of the network, and basically it gives you a free boondocking location
For one
in your
night.
travels. Yeah, so you can stay one night usually, and the recent one we just done was at a winery, so they parked us right next to the
You
vines.
walk out
and
the door and you're in a
Yeah.
field of grapes.
Yeah.
so
and
and
how
then,
many grapes do you have to pick while you're there to pay for your space?
well, we didn't pick any. We did bottle some
We
wine.
did bottle help
Yeah.
Did you really?
label.
Yeah,
and,
we were
that
we
was
were
so much
lucky
fun.
enough that they were actually bottling the next day, and I just asked him. I was like, "You think we can record the bottling process, or maybe get hands on a little bit?" And he's like, "Sure, come."
We started at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
we
is that
started
gonna be
at
one
8.
of your videos?
Yeah, it's going to be in the next video actually.
One that he's working on now.
Yeah, I'm working on editing now, and we go through the whole bottling process, and it surprised me. And this is what I really like about Harvest Host is you would never, or at least I would have never experienced anything like that if I wasn't a
Yeah.
member of this. So we stopped for a night's sleep, and then we stayed the next day. We took a tour of the winery. We got to help bottle the wine.
And all they ask in return is the Harvest Host, the people who started Harvest Host, they ask, please try to make a purchase.
Yeah, purchase a
While
little
you're
something
there.
at the gift shop
You're
because they all
staying
have
for
gift
free,
shops.
so
Same thing at Walmart.
right.
Yeah.
We always
Exactly.
go in and
Yeah.
buy something at
We
Walmart.
Yeah,
always-
we always restock the night we stay at Walmart. We restock
You know,
everything, and
Who cares if I bought 2 bottles of wine instead of 1?
yeah,
Who's counting?
don't judge me.
Judge.
Yeah, you don't want to be a whiner.
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, so we've done winery so far. We have a brewery on the schedule
We
going
did
to
an
South
alpaca
Dakota.
farm.
Did an
Yeah.
alpaca
Saw
farm.
that video. That was a good
I'm waiting
video.
for a chocolate cake thing where you go to different places and eat chocolate cake.
Yeah, I'm hoping somebody would sign up for that.
Like a bakery,
Yeah, bakery
Harvest Host
host.
Bakery.
Bakery
That
host,
would
that
be
would be
so
great, huh?
good.
That would be. We are going to an apple
Apple
orchard
Apple orchard, yeah.
next week, so we'll see how apple cider is made.
They make
Hard
apple
cider?
butter. And,
Mhm.
yeah.
Or not?
No hard cider.
no
I don't
hard
know.
cider.
Maybe.
No, not for me.
We can turn it into hard cider in here.
You could.
Yeah, don't listen to these people. It's a bad thing. So, well, I guess to kind of give this a wrap up here a little bit is, I guess my final question for you would be is, what's your ultimate goal with living this lifestyle? Is it to live it till you can't live it anymore? You're looking for a new place to live? What is your goal?
My goal is I want to go as long as I can,
Yeah.
as long as my body will let me go. That's the honest plan. I mean, I'm still pretty young. I'm in my early 40s, So I really plan on being on the road as long as possible. So I'm hoping that I do it right and find the right jobs and, can afford to stay out here.
I just want to find my happy,
Yeah.
because you spend most of your time doing what people consider the norm. You go to work every day and you come home to your house that you don't use all of it, but you're paying for all of it.
And you're not there
paying
half your
bills,
life.
and you're not there, exactly.
Yeah.
And we traveled before on cruises. We never saw the United States ever. And I think if we could see where we live, we could probably find our happy.
And for about the last year, we've been pretty unhappy with the normal life.
Yeah.
Other than our friends that we live by, other than that,
Oh yeah.
we were kind of miserable with the work thing. And
Yeah.
I had a company phone that was attached to my hip 24/7, and it just got old.
I gotta say too that with the work camping like we've been doing and that like what you guys are gonna do, you can put up with anything for a few weeks
Right.
because you know it's gonna end.
Yeah.
But when you're in it year after year,
When you know
Yeah, you
that's
get
what's
to where
paying
you
your
start
bills.
cherry picking the jobs. You'll find some people could go to a place that we hate and just find total satisfaction being there, and then the opposite. The thing is you just got to do what you want to do, and that's
And
there's a
everybody's
lot of good
different.
things about this lifestyle. One is if you don't like your neighbor, you move. If you don't like your job, you leave. Work Camper puts out a list of jobs every single day.
Right.
So speaking of that, by the way, if anybody is interested in work camping in Wisconsin, our campground is looking for 3 more couples. So if you want to contact me at economicrefugees@hotmail.com, I'll give you the information and you can contact the owner and negotiate your own place and position. But it's a nice place to work. It's in a beautiful part of the country and it's not frying hot.
And they're nice people.
Nice people. Very nice people. And that's how you do it. You sell the dolly and you get people to come to work, and YouTube's a wonderful place. That's one of the wonderful things about this lifestyle and about YouTube and all these things. I asked you guidance when we got into this. We talked to Uncle Jerry and Aunt Nancy, which we talked about in other interviews that we've done. And I mean, they were on the road for 18 years, and when they started, they had no TV unless they were hooked up to a cable. They had no phones unless they pulled over and found a pay phone. There were no computers. So the way they explained it to us is you got it made. You got everything is right there for you. And if you have a question about working on your RV, you go on YouTube and bada bing. There's always something that's similar that you can do. And I think the biggest thing is don't be afraid to try.
Exactly.
And
You're
ask
a
lots of
chef,
questions.
and you
That was our
now you know how to
biggest
do
thing.
spark plugs
That's
and
right.
stuff like
Exactly.
that. And the same way with Brian. Brian just kind of needed, hey, kind of do this, do that, and Brian knocked it out. And that's
It's
all
good
it
to
takes.
have somebody that you can,
You can pick their brain. And
call and say, hey, do you know?
That's another thing I think I'm really going to enjoy about this actually is the work camping experience is picking up,
Yeah.
knowledge of other areas. I've done the same thing. I've either been in culinary or telecommunications my whole life. So now if I can get out there and operate machinery and learn different trades and all, I'm looking forward to just, learning new
different
things. Yeah.
broadening your horizons.
Exactly.
And
Like how to bottle wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
there you go. Well, hey.
Hey,
You
now I
never
can
know.
say I
They
bottled
might-
wine,
That's
right?
my dream
They
more
might
than
have
it is
someone
his.
give them a winery someday, right?
You'll never know.
So,
Find a coffee factory, that'd be good.
That's
yeah, there you go. See,
You'll probably come across that somewhere.
coffee is a big thing, I think, in the RV world. So,
And you were asking what we wish we had known before. I wish I'd have known I was going to have to get rid of one of my coffee pots. Because
We
I
have
so wanted to
percolators.
keep it.
we use a percolator.
She's coming around to when
She's
we
a major coffee
Yes.
achiever.
Yeah, when we lived in a house, she had coffee bars and coffee pots and
Oh, yeah.
espresso machines.
Espresso machines.
Oh,
yeah.
all the countertops were coffee. So finally, we got her down to one coffee machine, and now she's actually got a pour over.
Now I have a
you know.
pour over.
I think we're going to wrap this one up, and I like to say we've been spending time with them for the last 3 days. I think mostly what we've done is eaten.
We've eaten a lot.
I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I'm good. If you see my
Check out-
videos,
I put on a few pounds since we met.
Yes, that's one thing you'll see in my videos. I'm good at eating.
He's putting on my pounds, and I'm talking him into bicycles so we can get rid of him.
Well, he's Cajun, and if you know
Yeah.
a Cajun, you know they love their food.
Yes.
Exactly. So anyway, we're going to put their YouTube channel up, and this would be a great channel for you to follow, because not only are they kind of adventurous, but they're learning all the things.
That's right.
And this would be a good learning. You can learn with them as they learn, and they're not afraid to ask, and they're not afraid to try, and that's basically the secret to life.
And they do fun things.
And they do fun
And
things.
that's one thing we said in our intro video is we're not going to sugarcoat anything on our channel. We're
Yeah.
going to
Good,
show
the bad,
you
the ugly.
good, bad, ugly. You know, we're going to document everything. So
Well, and that's what you need to do is, and so, I mean, we've been at it for a while. We have more of the knowledge now because
Right.
we're in our 8th year, but we still don't know a lot of it. Trust me. I was watching a video this morning, and there was a fight across the street from the place where the person was boondocking. It got kind of wild. So
That was a Caravan Carolyn.
yeah, and that happens.
To check
You
her
know,
out
you,
too.
you just, sometimes people get a little strange. You just got to be careful what you do, and that's why I say it's always a good thing to move. You don't
be
want
ready to grab the ignition.
Yeah.
On the go.
Well, I mean, it can happen when you live in a neighborhood. It can
Right.
happen anytime, and you're not immune to anything when you're in a motorhome. But
It's just
anyway,
easier to get out of it.
thank you guys for
Thank you.
coming.
We appreciate it.
They came
Came out of
to
their
meet
way to
us
see
and
us.
spend time with us. We had a good time. And now they have to leave and go on their merry way, and we'll still be here for another week or so, and then
Oh, yeah?
we'll
Okay.
we'll be go. Well, there's
We're
4
still
feet
in
of
Arkansas,
snow.
in case anyone's wondering.
There's 4 feet of snow in Wisconsin. So I talked to the owner the other
Still
day,
in
and
Rapid City, too.
he said, well, I wish you could come right now because we need to start getting ready to open. But he goes, I have no idea how I would get you into the
Yeah.
Yeah,
park.
we got an email from our boss in
Yeah.
South Dakota, and he's like, unfortunately, winter has not left us yet. So good travels. Take your time.
Well,
That
they
snow is a
definitely
tough
named
thing
it
to
good.
overcome.
Sprinter,
Yeah.
spring and winter.
Yeah.
It just will
Yeah,
not.
it's
We can get to the campground. We just can't get in the
in the
campground.
campground, yeah.
So usually the roads are clear. So
Right.
Okay, so we're going to put a link to their RV channel. Please go check them out and subscribe. And
also we'll put a link to the job so you
put a
can
link to the
email
job that
me.
we talked about also.
And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you would, please like us. We love comments. We try to answer them or at least let you know that we read them. And also, if you want to know when we're going to have a video up, click on the bell. And then you can go see them. And they're
Yes.
pretty fun.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.